A report of a gun on a passenger bus leads to a CHP investigation. A shooting in Bakersfield overnight leaves one man dead. And we'll be live in Porterville as the community honors the lives of the 2 firefighters lost. This is 17 News at noon. Good afternoon. Welcome to 17 News at noon. I'm Nicole Gitsky in for Maddie Jansen. We're following breaking news for you at noon. Arvin Police Chief Scot Kimble is facing charges in court. He's accused of making a false statement. That's a misdemeanor. Kern County District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer said a news release is anticipated, but offered no other immediate details. Kimber was sworn in as Arvin's police chief last year after serving as police chief for the McFarland Police Department. He's been working in law enforcement for about 3 decades. The newspaper in McClatchy reports Kimble had been fired from at least 2 law enforcement agencies out of 8 he has worked for. And more breaking news. Officers with the California Highway Patrol are investigating after a gun scare on board a Greyhound bus. This all started just after 8 o'clock this morning on a bus driving southbound on Highway 99 in Mettler. Officers say they got a call from the girlfriend of a passenger. That passenger told her that there was someone on the bus armed with a handgun and threatening people. CHP stopped the bus on Mettler Frontage Road and searched it. They also searched the passengers on board. Officers say no one was hurt and no weapons were found. Police arrested David Malonia for being under the influence of drugs and filing a false police report. And Bakersfield police are investigating a shooting that killed a man overnight in southwest Bakersfield. It happened just after 2 o'clock this morning at a home on Pacino Court. That's near Stein Road, north of White Lane. Police were called there for reports of a shooting. When they arrived, they found a man dead. It's unclear what led up to the shooting or if police are searching for any suspects. We'll bring you new information as soon as it comes in. And right now, the city of Porterville is honoring the 2 firefighters who died fighting a blaze in the city's only public library. This is a live look inside the Church of the Nazarene in Porterville ceremony for Fire Captain Raymond Figueroa and firefighter Patrick Jones. Let's take a listen in.
And let things get back to the way they should be. The bewilderment, the questions that we probably all have as to why, how, why them? Why didn't God protect them?
Patrick Jones and Captain Raymond Figueroa were the first to respond when flames broke out last week at the Porterville Public Library. The 2 rushed inside to search for survivors who may have been trapped inside. Figueroa was laid to rest in his hometown of Delano Tuesday, and a funeral for Jones was held in Porterville yesterday. Now we'll go live outside of 17's Taylor Schaub, who's been out there all morning and just witnessed the procession as it made its way to the church. Taylor?
Good afternoon, Nicole. If the last 2 services this week were about honoring the family, today was a chance for first responders up and down the state of California and really the entire West Coast to honor Captain Raymond Figueroa and honor firefighter Patrick Jones. As you can take a look, actually beside me right now, you're seeing the Church of the Nazarene. This is where this service is being held today. There's fire trucks obviously outside of the service. Right now, about 2,000 people are inside watching the service live. It started at about 11:30 today. It was scheduled for 11, but with the amount of firefighters that were outside earlier today, it took a little longer for them to get in. And as you can see behind me, there is a sea of fire trucks as far as the eye can see. Today there was a processional. It had a flyover in the City of Porterville has also opened up 2 alternate locations for viewing. They are the Landmark Christian Church and the Galaxy 9 theaters. Those are for community members to come out and honor these fallen heroes here in Porterville. And we talked to a couple of community members today, ones that actually took off work. They said they wanted to honor these fallen first responders. They wanted to showcase, one family actually wanted to showcase their children what this means for the city of Porterville, a small city here in the Central Valley. But as you can tell by this impact, it's really meant a lot to them. And I'm going to send it back to you in the studio, Nicole.
Thank you, Taylor, for that. Well, an 8-year-old girl has died of the flu in Bakersfield. That marks the 11th flu death in Kern County. Asaya Jackson, a student at Norris Elementary, started feeling sick on Valentine's Day. Her parent says she only had a cough and cold symptoms, but then she got worse. She died last Wednesday. Local health officials say we are in peak of flu season, and if your child has a high fever, don't hesitate to take them to the doctor. And they say it's not too late to get a flu shot. Well, and for your local election headquarters, 4 of the 5 candidates running for the 5th District Supervisor seat appeared in a live debate right here on TV 17 last night. Notably missing incumbent Supervisor Leticia Perez. Perez did not appear at the debate despite confirming that she would be there several times. The candidates hope to represent the 5th District for the next 4 years, which includes much of South and East Bakersfield. Her competitors for the seat are Realtor Ben Valdez, businessman Ronnie Cruz, entrepreneur David Abbasi, and Greenfield Union School District Board member Dr. Ricardo Herrera. You can watch the debate on our website at kget.com. And an investigation is underway today after L.A. County Sheriff's deputies reportedly shared images of the helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 others. The Los Angeles Times reports that the deputies shared graphic photos taken at the scene, including images of the victims' remains. It's not clear if deputies took the photos themselves or received them from someone else. The Sheriff's Department says it is gathering information and reviewing the allegations. Well, last fall, Pacific Gas and Electric agreed to pay a record penalty for causing the deadly wildfires that swept through California, but now they're expected to pay more. Yesterday, a judge with the Public Utilities Commission proposed that PG&E could face a fine of more than $2.1 billion. The judge says that the previous settlement wasn't enough. This harsher punishment includes a $200 million payment to California's general fund. Lawsuits stemming from the fires sent the company into bankruptcy last year. Governor Gavin Newsom is threatening a government-led takeover of PG&E if the utility doesn't make significant reforms. And a building in Southern California that was damaged in a 1994 earthquake has finally reopened. The Panorama Tower opened its doors once again in Los Angeles Thursday. Now it's a 14-story apartment building. It was originally designed to be a 13-story office building in 1962. Then the 1994 Northridge earthquake left it heavily damaged. A real estate developer has since made $25 million in renovations, including adding 2 penthouse spaces to the roof. Well, the coronavirus continues to spread, sparking fears around the globe. So what's happening ahead of the Tokyo Olympics? Your 17 Health Watch is right after the break. Welcome back now with your 17 Health Watch. As the new coronavirus continues to spread around the world, Japan is taking drastic measures ahead of the Tokyo Olympics. NBC's Kelly Kobila reports from Tokyo.
This morning, more countries losing ground trying to stop coronavirus's march around the globe, spreading to at least 5 new countries: New Zealand, Denmark, Brazil, the Netherlands, and Nigeria. The number of countries with confirmed infections now up to 50, with reports of one woman in Japan testing positive a second time after doctors thought she'd recovered. The Japanese government now taking drastic measures, advising schools to stay closed for a month. Tokyo Disneyland also shutting its doors. And the city's Olympic preparations under threat. The torch relay due to reach Japan next month ahead of the Summer Games, but officials now considering scaling back the ceremony to limit crowds. A strategy being adopted across Asia. U.S. military based in Korea are running extra screening after a soldier tested positive for the coronavirus, while the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet, based in Japan, says it is taking precautionary measures and keeping some ships at sea for 2 weeks. Other countries are scrambling to cut public gatherings. Saudi Arabia stopping pilgrimages to Mecca and Medina. And in Italy, this soccer match went on in an empty stadium, fans having to watch in bars outside. And another concern for healthcare workers, a patient's dog in Hong Kong has tested positive for the virus. That dog is now being tested further. Scientists say this was a weak positive, so they're trying to figure out whether the dog actually carries the virus or whether it simply came in contact with it on its nose and mouth by sharing the same environment as its sick owner. It's important to note that there's no scientific evidence that our pets can carry this new coronavirus. Kelly Kobiella, NBC News, Tokyo, Japan.
And in South Korea, pop mega group BTS is canceling a concert because of the coronavirus fears. The K-pop boy band made the announcement today. BTS has scheduled a map of the Seoul tour for April 11th, 12th, 18th, and 19th in Seoul, South Korea. According to its music label, Big Hit Entertainment, the band's agency says the outbreak has made it, quote, impossible at this time to predict the scale, end quote, of the virus in South Korea during the date of the concert in April. Right now, more than 2,000 people in South Korea are infected with the virus. Well, let's take a look at your forecast now with Kevin.
It was a great morning. We had some cloud cover, and it was warmer overnight as well with the blanket of clouds. It kind of created that thermal blanket, and so we were able to keep it in the 50s, 53. We should be at right around 45 this time of year. Normal high, 66, and the record of 81 set back in 1926. We could be breaking that record as we head into this afternoon. Your sunset will be at 5:50 tonight, and again, we're seeing these clouds because of a weak disturbance to the south and west, so these clouds will be around today. And then the ridge of high pressure that we've been talking about is going to keep us warm for one more day here before we start to see change. 69 in Sacramento, Fresno at 81, down to the south, 85 in Los Angeles, 76 in San Diego if you're heading east, maybe to try your luck in Vegas. They're looking at the upper 60s today, a high of 68, and the beaches, mostly cloudy out in Morro Bay. We're also looking at a nice warm day, 71 degrees, the water temperature right at 56, and here's a look at our overall pattern and what we can expect as we head into the weekend, because again, we are going to see a little bit of a change as we take a look at the Pacific, and the weather computer wants to freeze up. There we go. The ridge will head to the east, and then an area of low pressure developing out of the Gulf of Alaska will start to swing on in. It's going to have some colder air with it as well, but we're going to be looking at the lack of rain once again. We definitely need the rain because we're going to end February at only 1/100th of an inch, and that puts us down over an inch. And then for the water year, we're still collecting 2.84 in the gauge right now. We're down about 1.5 inches. So hopefully we can get a little bit more rain in the month of March. Now, if we pick it up on Sunday, again, we will be in March, and we'll start it out in the right way, not dry, right? Here's a look at the low, and you can see I paused it right here because what do you notice? It is offshore once again, kind of like last weekend's storm where it brought very little rain our direction. It heads south and then eventually to the east, and we get kind of some of that wraparound moisture into the Kern County area. So we are looking at a chance of rain, but I just don't think it's going to be a lot. Here's a look at the big headlines, though. Near record temperatures for today with that 81 that was set back in 1926. And then again, this next system will brush the Kern County area on Sunday. I think the real headline here will be the big temperature drop, where we'll see temperatures drop 20 degrees, if not more. If the rain holds up and we see it, we're only looking between a trace and on the high side, 1/10 of an inch. Now for the mountains, between 1/10 and 1/4. Again, 1/4 would be on the high side for you. And we could see a dusting of snow at pass level, but I don't think it'll affect your commute with that snow level dropping about 3,000 feet. Take a look at the national weather and the temperatures for today, and you can see where the cool air is from Bismarck into Minneapolis, Chicago at 31, 34 in Boston. A mild day down in Florida. We're looking at temperatures in the 60s, and then out to the west, Portland, 54 degrees, and Phoenix right at 76. Here at home, air quality today will be moderate with an AQI at 57, and we'll call for mostly cloudy skies, and 82 in Bakersfield, 83 McFarland, 79 in Taft. For the mountains in the Kern River Valley, mostly cloudy, 68 in Frazier Park, 67 in Datchby, 70s for the Kern River Valley, Lake Isabel at 75 along with Kernville, and then for the desert, 73 in Mojave and a southeast wind right around 10. Your extended forecast shows that chance of showers on Sunday. Even a thunderstorm can't be ruled out. And then next week, we clear it out and we're sunny again. 79 by Thursday. For the mountains, 30% chance of those showers on Sunday. Snow level at 3,000 feet. Only a high of 43, 48 on Monday. Then back into the mid-60s by next Thursday. And then for the Kern River Valley, we're also looking at that change on Sunday. A big temperature drop, a chance of showers. But then that will head off to the east and we'll clear things out early next week. And by Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to be right back near 73. That's a look at the forecast. Have a great weekend. We'll send it back over to you.
Thank you, Kevin, for that. The weather going into the weekend looks fabulous. Well, the Delano Police Department is having a DUI checkpoint tonight that's happening in the city at an undisclosed spot. Officers remind people that driving under the influence isn't limited to alcohol, but drugs as well. Last year, officers investigated 19 different DUI crashes that killed 9 people. As a reminder, always have a designated driver if you plan to drink. If you see someone driving irresponsibly, make sure to report them to police. And who can you trust when it comes to money? We have tips to protect yourself in your 17 Business Watch right after the break.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Back now in your 17 Business Watch, let's take a look at oil prices. West Texas Intermediate sits at $45.10, and Midway Sunset Oil is at $51.18. Well, there's a new contender in the battle over breakfast. Wendy's has started rolling out its new breakfast menu. It's only serving breakfast at a few locations right now, but the menu will be available nationwide on Monday. The breakfast menu will include items like the Frosted Chino, the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit, and the Breakfast Baconator. Wendy's is investing about $20 million to support its U.S. stores in preparation for the launch. And speaking of breakfast, Dunkin' Donuts is now offering an early morning staple, bacon. The new Snackin' Bacon is simply a bag of bacon. It features 8 half strips topped with sweet black pepper seasoning. The same bacon is also featured on Dunkin's sweet black pepper bacon sandwich. Well, when it comes to your money, who can you trust? Whether you are rich or just have a little money saved, at some point it's a judgment you will probably have to make. Scott Cohn of CNBC's American Greed shares some essential safeguards.
On the court, NBA Hall of Famer Dennis Rodman knew better than to lower his guard, but it was a different story with financial advisor Peggy Fulford, who conned him out of more than $1 million. A friend of Rodman's reads us his statement.
It makes me sad. I trusted someone I considered family to manage my money, and they did terribly wrong by me.
In a story told on CNBC's Next American Greed, Fulford specialized in stealing from pro athletes, getting them to sign what's known as a power of attorney. Experts say it's a document all of us should consider, designating someone to handle your finances if you can't, but it's also risky.
Of all your most valuable possessions, your banking information really is the keys to the kingdom. So don't let it get into the wrong hands.
Attorney Kimberly Schechter says choose carefully. Many people give power of attorney to a family member, but consider dividing authority with, say, a lawyer and an accountant.
A power of attorney is a very powerful document. It's very important for people to know what the document does.
If you're signing over authority right away to handle your accounts for you, like Dennis Rodman did, trust but verify.
Check your bank statements. You will absolutely find certain red flags if someone is doing something wrong.
After all, it's your money, and it pays to play defense. Scott Cohn, NBC News.
Well, firefighters rappelled down a bridge to save a FedEx driver who fell more than 70 feet. Coming up, why the first responder who rescued him says he's actually the real hero. Let's take a look at your news around the world. Well, a massive fire breaks out near a busy rail terminal in Paris. Police had to evacuate the historic Gare de Lyon train station after flames engulfed multiple vehicles and sent a large cloud of black smoke over the neighborhood. At one point, the station's landmark clock tower was engulfed in smoke. One police officer said someone set fire to a scooter during an unauthorized concert near the train station, and the flames quickly spread to other vehicles nearby. No one was reported hurt. And shocking video out of Southern California overnight. A police chase ends with a violent crash. Let's take a look right now. Officers chased that black car onto I-405 because they thought it might be stolen. During the chase, the driver rear-ended another car, lost control, and spun, slamming into a light pole. At least 3 people inside the car were ejected onto the freeway. They survived but had to be taken to the hospital. 2 people got out of the car and ran from police. They were detained. As you can imagine, the crash caused a major backup on I-405. And a FedEx driver who survived a 75-foot fall from a bridge in North Carolina got the chance to thank the firefighters who saved. As Chloe Leschner shows us, it's the first responders who are calling him the hero.
It's not how these first responders expected to see Jeremiah Cribb after finding him like this last week, lying in the dirt at the bottom of the Yadkin River Bridge after stopping to help a woman on the side of 85.
I'm out of the hospital in 2 days. I'm standing in front of all you guys, and man, words just can't describe how I'm feeling right now, how blessed I am to be here.
It wasn't a typical call, and it certainly doesn't have the expected outcome.
I think we both looked at each other like, this guy's going to be dead when we look over this thing, and he wasn't.
Every single person in this room helped save Jeremiah's life. Once they got to the bridge, it only took them 11 minutes to get him up and to a stretcher. Practicing that type of rescue so often here, it was seamless here when Jeremiah needed them most.
I was ready to get up there. I was ready to get back on ground.
He sees every first responder as a hero.
This is just something we train for all the time, and we're expected to do when called upon.
But they see it the other way around. It was Jeremiah's good deed that landed them all there.
You know, he stopped to help people, and that's what we do. So in many ways, I think some of our guys feel like they were rescuing one of their own.
That was Chloe Leschner reporting. A GoFundMe has been set up for Jeremiah. He plans to donate some of the money to charity. Well, McDonald's will soon celebrate the anniversary of one of its trademark menu items. How you can get your hands on a free McMuffin Monday. That story's next. Welcome back. Well, you can get a free Egg McMuffin at McDonald's on Monday on the chain's inaugural National Egg McMuffin Day. It comes as the 50th anniversary of the Egg McMuffin approaches next year. Fun fact, the Egg McMuffin was accidentally created in 1971 when a franchise owner tried to make Eggs Benedict. To claim yours, you need to download the McDonald's app and create an account, then show up at a McDonald's between 6 and 10:30 a.m. local time and claim yours. No purchase is necessary. Well, interestingly, National Egg McMuffin Day just happens to be the exact same day Wendy's launches its breakfast menu across the U.S. Coincidence? Well, you can decide on that. And finally, at noon, it was a fun fundraiser to help feed a big need in our community. Golden Empire Gleaners hosted its inaugural Rhythm and Roots event at Buck Owens Crystal Palace last night. In addition to food, there were raffle prizes and entertainment by singer John Pemberton. The money raised helps the Gleaners continue its mission of feeding the need in Kern County.
We take this money and we're not out buying latte machines. We're out feeding the poor and feeding those that are really in need. And a lot of them don't know where their next meal is going to come from.
We are going to do our raffle for the night.
17's Kevin Charquette served as MC of the event, and I also was there too. It was a very fun evening, great entertainment, and great food. Well, that's all for 17 News at noon. Thank you for joining us. We will see you back here for 17 News at 5.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.